would help me in my job is if we had adequate funding and we didn't have to beg for money.
Mobile County's first female district attorney not shying away when it comes to talking about money issues in her office.
Ashley Rich knew she wanted to be the county's top prosecutor years ago when she was in law school. She's now completing her first year in office.
And she's dealing with a high homicide rate, very young criminals, high-profile murder cases, and as you just heard, a shrinking budget.
Rich started working in the DA's office 16 years ago. She recently sat down with our Eric Reynolds for the interview.
I love this job. I want to do this job because I want to make people's lives better. It's my pleasure to be the DA. I want to make sure that I'm helping victims every day.
Mobile County District Attorney Ashley Rich also deals every day with a homicide rate larger than the year before, and what she calls horrific crimes. Cases like the murder of Natalie and Chase DeBlaze, and the murders of Kaiser Myrie and Zoa White.
Absolutely, it does bother me. And we deal with that by knowing that we are fighting the criminals that are committing these acts. It's hard to even imagine that something as horrific as what occurred in that case occurred right here in Mobile County. And I think it will, as the Lamb Lung case did, take a toll on the community as a whole, because we will have to hear what exactly happened to those children, and it'll be tough. It's a particularly disturbing case, one of which I will be trying myself. We are seeking the death penalty on those cases, and we believe that that's what's right. We do have some random acts of violence, as in the Myrie case, the Zoa White case, but other than that, I think a common trend with the cases is that they're either drug, alcohol, or domestic violence related.
District Attorney Rich says that she's seeing children growing up without morals and values, carrying guns, and influenced by violent video games.
Our criminals are becoming younger and our crimes are becoming more violent. We send a strong message that if they choose to go out and engage in criminal activity, even at a young age, they're going to be prosecuted. It's hard. It's hard to send an 18-year-old to jail for a long, long time. Had to send a 15-year-old to jail for a very long time. Prosecuted a murder case of a 14-year-old who went to prison for life. These very young people who are now in the penitentiary started their life of crime very simply by skipping school.
DA Rich says that she has a strong message for parents and their children about truancy.
You've made a mistake, you've missed too many days from school, here's your opportunity to change it. If you continue on and continue not going to school, then you're going to end up in Strickland Youth Center in court seeing Judge Naaman. I tell them the story about the 15-year-old who I put in jail for 20 years for robbery first. I lay out all the facts.
The District Attorney's Bully Block text program is another way to help kids. I asked her if bullying was a sign of future criminal problems.
A bully is 50% more likely to go on and commit a crime as they mature and get older. And so if you can stop the bullying at a very young age, I'd like to have tent cities like they have in Arizona personally. And I think they should grow their own food and make their own clothes.
The DA says that tent cities in Mobile County would answer the crowded jail problem. It has forced her office to allow some repeat offenders to bond out.
It's a problem. So it's very hard for me as the district attorney because I'd like to see them all go to jail. If they've committed a crime, I'd like to see them do some time.
I asked District Attorney Rich what has been the most difficult part of her first year in office.
The hardest part of my job over the last year has been fighting for money, fighting to make sure that we have the resources necessary. One of the things that would help me in my job is if we had adequate funding and we didn't have to beg for money. We're doing everything we can here. We are working just as hard as we can and as vigorously can, even with 29 fewer employees. I think we're still doing an excellent job with the resources that we have. I worry, though. I worry about the future.
In Mobile, Eric Reynolds, Fox 10 News.